All right. Might get a bit of feedback here as we go live. Okay. Right. There we go. We are live. Welcome back to another show, Living Charmed Live with Shar and Val. This is my sister Val.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi again. This is our our second show. I am the Shar in Living Charmed, livingcharmed.ca. That would be, and Charmed is an acronym. It stands for comfortably confident, harmonious, activated, relationship rich, manifested, ever evolving, and destiny by design. And that's just kind of the 7 pillars of what my chapters, practice is all about. It's a theme and pillars that kind of surround my practice. So today's show, we are going to be doing our first relationship show today, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be on every second Friday, probably on the odd dates, if all goes well. We're going to be doing these, like I said, on a regular basis. We're going to have all kinds of topics. It's going to be everything furry, all things furry. So the reason for that is, and it falls under relationship rich. It'll fall under the pillar of relationship, the theme of relationship rich, because the relationships and the connections that we have with our pets nowadays are deep. They run very deep, and we get very, very connected to them. We really know it the most, unfortunately, when after we've lost one. Once you lose one, you know just how deep of an impact they have made in your life. So, but before we go a little bit more into that, I just want to say a quick hi to Val and let her say hi to everybody. And yeah, she's just going to be, again, for those that didn't see us last week, she's going to co-host, weigh in on a few topics here and there, the ones that she can relate to, which is probably going to be almost all of them, because everybody has lots of areas in their lives and relationships that we all either struggle with and enjoy, and just so many life experiences. So Val, if you want to say hi, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Like Charlene said, I'm her sister, and I decided to do this with her, and I'm very excited about it because I know everybody out there has some sort of issue. We're all a work in progress, and I believe that we can all find something that can bring us all together. I think this kind of thing is a good thing. I think if there's something that you can say in the comments or anything like that, that we can maybe see what we can comment on it when you comment. Like if we go back and forth and do that kind of thing, I always think that that's such a good thing to have for maybe a closure on something that you're doing, some sort of issue you're having. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm a work in progress. If you can give me something to work on, then that's even better, right? So I'm very excited for today. I have had an animal. I had a cat. I had a little kitty cat. He passed away 3 years ago of diabetes. So, but he did live a long life.
What was
He was about, I think he was like 14. He ended up being.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So he lived a long life, and it got to the point where I think we were keeping him alive for our own selfish reasons, and he was suffering, and he was sick, and he knew when it was time, and we knew when it was time. So, but I do miss him. I still miss him to this day. They become our kids, right? So, yeah. So
it catches people off guard just how deeply they grieve when they lose their You know it's going to be painful. You know it's going to be hard. And then that time does come. It's definitely what it promises to be. There's no question. They bring us so much joy and so much love. And what Val was talking about earlier there too is eventually we are going to be having participants come on the show with us. We're going to have guests, professional guests, all that sort of thing too. But we're also going to have real everyday people coming on with their experiences. Any kinds of issues that they have. We're going to have just kind of like call-in segments and stuff. That'll be down the road on different topics. This show particular, we are going to probably have a lot of guests, a lot of professionals, because there's going to be a lot of different topics that fall under our little furry friends' lives, right? Vet costs, the rising vet costs, and how they're pricing people out of owning animals. Just inflation period, right? Is pricing people out of owning animals, their quirky behaviors, eating habits. I look down because I've got my little girl here that I'll probably try to introduce later, because she's, when it comes to eating, oh my goodness, she's a little 5-pound pom, and has that ever been a struggle?
Little princess.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to have all kinds of topics, behavioral, what I actually kind of wrote some of them down. I should probably look. I should actually try to follow notes when I do have notes here, but I never ever do follow notes. So, seniors and dogs, that's another one. Senior pets, living with a senior pet, insurance ins and outs, all kinds of issues, everything that you can possibly imagine we're going to have on this show. If you're wondering why I added relationships to my coaching practice, it's because it's a relationship that's often overlooked. I got a pet, whatever. What could possibly, what could I possibly need a coach for, right? But, there's actually many reasons, because a lot of times, especially when you've got an aging pet, and you don't know, the decision comes to whether you need to keep your pet around, like Val was just talking about earlier, or maybe decide to let them go, and then how to let them go and stuff. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody to kind of, and somebody that's not a friend or family member that can kind of help you process that, right? And loss of a pet a lot of times, right? I mean, if you lose a pet, that's what people would come to me for, right? To try to reset after losing the pet, because they're really taken aback by the grief that comes with that. Sometimes it lingers, and sometimes they don't know how to get out of it, and you can just get stuck because it did catch you just so very off guard. Matchmaking is one of my favorite things to do. I'm very familiar with the different breeds. It's always been a hobby of mine. In fact, one of my favorite things to do is guessing the breed of your dog if you've got a mixed breed. I just love doing that. So mixing the right breed with the right person, especially for first-time owners. There's just all kinds of of reasons why people would come and want to work with me on that. And if somebody comes to me and it's something that I don't know, we will find the right professional for you. I will also help guide you to other professionals, which is why we're going to have certain guest professionals on our show and stuff, where people can ask questions and all that stuff about their furry pets. But my favorite part, and I really am kind of going off the format of, you make a plan to have a show, but you go off the format, right? But that's how real life and relationships go. And like I said, these are going to be unedited. So my favorite part is going to be that we are going to probably have every show, as today I actually wanted to have my niece on, Val's daughter, and my sister on, but both of them are not feeling well today, so that didn't work out well. But to come, what we're going to have is people are going to come on and show and tell their pets. It's going to be a show and tell for pets. You're going to bring your pet on, or pets if you have more than one pet. And we're going to talk about your pet, their quirky habits, little things, their story, your story with them. I might have a couple of questions for you. So that's the part of this show that I'm really looking forward to. So that after the topic is discussed on every show, at the end, we're going to have 2 or 3 people come on for about 4 or 5 minutes each with their pets and talk about their pets. So I'm looking forward to that a lot for this relationship segment, right? And again, these relationship shows are going to be every second Friday. So they're going to be regular because, like I said, relationships, our relationships with our pets get very overlooked, and there's actually a need for it. People are looking for that, right? Information on their pets, and especially when it's a topic that they're going to be interested in and stuff like that. So you talked about Shrek, right? And you had him for 14 years. We had a family pet too, Muffin. Another reason why I decided to be a relationship coach is because animals have been a big part of my life for my whole life. When I was young, we had basically a farm in our backyard. My dad was super indulgent of my love for animals, and really I got it from dad, right? I guess when he was growing up, the rules were a lot more lax. He had goats, all kinds of things in his backyard, pigeons, dogs, he had it all. But we had rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, owls. We actually had a couple of owls for a while. Everything but the beloved dog that Char wanted so badly, so badly, until we got Trixie. And we had Trixie for about 3 years. And unfortunately, I was not responsible enough to look after him because he got kind of ignored. And so we did find him another home, thank God for him, because, he just wasn't getting the attention that he deserved. So he was with us for about 3 years. And that was actually the first time I experienced grief in my life, because they taught, mom and dad had me in a good place to let him go to live with somebody else. But then when he was gone, I wanted him back, right? It was like, oh my God, I was just the saddest little girl in the world for a while. And I was not often too sad. My default is happy. Usually I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky girl. So when I did have rabbits in our backyard and stuff, we bred them. And so we used to have a whole bunch of baby bunnies around. And that's kind of where my entrepreneurial spirit came out at first, because I would take the baby bunnies to the park and sell them for I think it was $2 each back then. And
Yep.
I ended up even setting up, and I think I was about 12 at that time. I even set up maybe 13. So I got a contract with the Bay, because back then in that.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
A pet shop in the basement of their on the lower level, right? So I had a contract with them. So I come by the animal love quite naturally. And then in my adult years, of course, I got Lexus, my Jack Russell of 16 years. And after I lost her, I wrote my first book. And it's actually called A Furry Piece of Heaven. God spelled backwards is dog. There was actually a little bit of more of a spiritual awakening that happened in and around that. I'll be talking about that on other shows and stuff. I don't want to bore people too much with the past, right? But I want you guys to know who I am and why I chose to add relationship coaching to my coaching and stuff like that. And then after that, I got a little boy named Titus. I really feel like he was sent to us. He was definitely a gift from above. Unfortunately, he was only with us for about 1.5 years, and that's the one that hit me really hard. That was probably one of the hardest losses I've ever had. I'm working on his book right now. That was 3 years ago, and it's taken me 3 years to write that book. And a lot of that has been avoidance from grief. So again, we're going to have a lot of topics on here. Some are going to be, quite serious, obviously, but a lot of them are going to be fun too. We're going to have a lot of just fun topics. We're going to try to keep it light and fun for the most part, but we are dealing with life and relationships, and it's not always going to be fluffy stuff, right? All the good stuff always. There's bad but the good. But you know what? That being said, we're here to help you through that. We're here to help you know that you can relate to these things. You're not alone, because when you're in the deepest, darkest place in your life, you feel so alone, and you feel like no one else is struggling the way you are. And it's just not true. That's just a lie that grief tells you, or even other negative forces in this world, right? It's just so easy to stay there. There really are ways to get back up and get living and reset yourself. So when you guys took Shrek in to the vet, that was probably your guys' first real loss of a cat, of losing a pet, right? Well, Muffin would have been the first time.
Muffin would have been the first one, but we had to put Shrek down.
Yeah.
So that was pretty tough. Like we were in
Right.
the room with him. So it was, we were pretty devastated. Watching Chantal, my daughter, go through that because
Yeah.
Chantal is an only child. So this Shrek was like a brother to her,
Yeah.
or a son,
They're family
right?
members.
So
They become your
yeah,
family members.
yeah. So she missed him a lot. So
Of course.
yeah, we've got a lot of good memories of him, and if we can
That's
keep them
true.
going,
Well, because
yeah,
you're in that place now, right? You're past that now. Like at first it's like
yeah,
you really are, you're thinking about the grief and you're thinking, how am I going to get over this? This is just impossibly hard. But you do come
yeah,
out the other side and you can come to the part where you do get to celebrate their lives, right? So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
there's many reasons why we so deeply connect with animals. In some cases, I've heard people say, and I do understand it. I understand it. It's like, I've had human losses that weren't even nearly as bad as my pet loss, but there's big reasons why we connect on such a deep level with our pets. They are masters at showing us love without condition, without speaking one word. They're
yeah,
always there for us. We come home, they're always there, and they greet us with great enthusiasm. They learn us, they know us.
yeah.
There's a soul to soul connection there. There's just a billion reasons why, and I mean, all those reasons are going to come out as the shows go as we get deeper into the shows and the topics moving forward, right? This show
Yeah.
today was just basically to try to explain to you what Relationship Fridays are going to be all about, right? So, and again, this is our second show, so this is very new to us. So we're still kind of, figuring the ins and outs of this out, and we just need to get on here and rip off that bandage and start these shows. And so the first few shows are going to be introductions. Tomorrow's show is going to be about relationship, under the relationship rich theme and all the topics that go with that. Not all the topics, because there's a billion of them. I tell you, since I started this, the topics just keep coming at it. I feel like I just want to barf them all out at once because there's just so many things to go over. I'm just so excited about all the different things that we get to talk about here and discuss. And again, it's going to be unedited. It's real. It's raw, real life issues, right? What, you look like you want to say something?
No, you go. No,
Okay, so yeah, so
I got a lot to say, but we only have like 10 minutes.
do we really?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Has that much time gone by already? Well, it's going
Yeah.
fast. That's kind of a good thing. But yeah, so again, today's just introducing what relationship shows are going to be all about. Maybe I'll have to stop saying relationships. It's not that easy to say. My word, but not that easy to say, right? So yeah, I think I covered a lot. Oh, and the other thing, I guess that is important to mention is the other reason why for relationships is I do have a lot of experience. I actually started working with, I decided in 2008 to quit the jobs. I worked so many different jobs in direct sales. I think I mentioned that in the first show. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've just done so many different things, which is great. I mean, I've tried a lot of different things, some great, some not so great, but all good, right? So in 2008, I quit. I was working food and beverage, serving. I did that a lot over the years. That's probably where I got to my social life, right? I had a big social life too for a long time. But I decided to follow my passion and do something with animals. And so I started my own dog walking and pet sitting business, and that got very busy for a while. So busy that it actually owned me though, because I couldn't go anywhere. I was booked year round. I'd have, especially when I had them into my home, I'd have 4 or 5 different families of dogs here at once, and plus my dog walking. And so it was really hard to even get away for a weekend. And it served me so well for so many years, but I learned a lot about dogs they taught me a lot, and I learned a lot about the dog-human connection. So that's why it was just a no-brainer to bring relationships into my coaching practice. But then eventually I still actually do that part-time. I'm definitely getting busier with my coaching, so I'm kind of having to transition out of that a little bit, but I that's not easy to do, because the problem there is you fall deeply and madly in love with your little clients and the humans that are connected to them. So that's just basically kind of a little bit about more about me and why I decided to add relationship to this and how it's going to play out on the Friday shows and stuff. Anything else, Val, that you wanted to add today?
No, I think that you pretty much covered it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, that I don't
We're going live again tomorrow, right? We're going to be doing another. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just going to be about the introduction to Relationship Rich and the topics that come with that, all the kinds of topics that will come with that, which are many. I'm looking for another little co-host here. Mercedes, I was going to introduce you all to Mercedes today. Jasper will be another time, because this is hard enough to do, to try to organize all this, and without having a cat and dog trying to fight in here. So, and they do pick on each other. They do have sibling rivalry for sure. Mercedes? Sadie? Mercedes? Yeah, no, she's not going to make an appearance. She's camera shy.
Only when she wants to. Only when she wants to.
She must know something's up. She's like, "What do you want now, Mom? What are you gonna do?" She tells when she knows when there's something in my voice, right? That's when Mommy's up to something. So, but yeah, okay. Well, that's good for today. So yeah, we hope that you will join us tomorrow for or whenever. These shows are also going to be posted in a group after for everybody to watch. The other thing is, and eventually I will be putting this up on a screen for you guys, but like I said, these first few shows are just really about introducing what the shows are going to be about, what the topics are going to be about and stuff like that, right? But if you want to be a guest on our show, it is going to be in the description here, but you can send it to send your request and why you think why you'd be a fit for the relationship show, especially if you're a professional of some kind, to livingcharmed.live@gmail.com. If you want to request topics, you can send that to the same address, livingcharmed.live@gmail.com. And if you want to bring your little furry one on our show for the show and tell segment part of it, we would love to have you. Please start sending your emails to that same address, livingcharmed.live@gmail.com. Right. And if you want to see the schedules to the shows, to what the themes are for the next week or so out, you can go to livingcharmed.ca and then just go to the videocast link. What else? I think that's it for now. As always, if you know anybody or you yourself are struggling in any one area of your life or relationships, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can contact me at that email, or you can go right to my website to the contact page. It's always free to talk to me first. You'll always get something out of that first free consultation too. I never work with anybody unless I know we can work together. So I hate to think of anybody struggling out there. You're not alone. There's help out there for you. If you do end up working with me, it's very affordable. I know this is another topic for another show, because it's my passion and I don't want to get into it right now, or I will go off, but there's a lot of coaches out there that charge a lot of money, and sometimes it kind of makes people feel like they can't afford it. And there's a lot of people that don't have money, a lot of money, that need help too. And there's nothing worse than feeling like there's no help for you. And there definitely is. But again, that's going to be another topic for another time. So I guess that's going to be it for now. The next relationship show should be Friday, February 17th, and hopefully My sister and my niece are feeling a little bit better because I'd love to have them on, and I might have a friend or two that I'm going to come after for that show. And after that, we're just going to have all kinds of guests for the show and tell part and other guests.
Mhm.
So that's it, I guess, for now. Anything else you want to add, Val?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay, well, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful sunny day in Calgary today. We started out really, really windy today. It was so bad, like so windy. And then all of a sudden about 11 o'clock, it just got beautiful out. It's just so nice out there right now. So, so
It
hopefully
looks
it's
nice outside. I'm looking out in the window right now. It looks pretty sunny out here too.
Oh,
So
good. And she's in Saskatoon. So I'm in Calgary. She's in
yeah,
Saskatoon. So
yeah.
gotta love technology and being able to go all over the world, reach people all over the world, and do things like this from all over the world, right? So
Yep.
that being said, happy Friday. And we will, hopefully we see you guys tomorrow, or you'll see us
Mhm.
tomorrow, I guess. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.